Okay, what is the difference between knowledge and wisdom?
Right, knowledge and wisdom. All right. First off, it's confused that knowledge is something subdued by wisdom. Like if you have knowledge, you have to have wisdom. And that's just not true. Knowledge is the learning of, the education of, right? It's like if you wanted to master math, you still have to know 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2. Those things are definitive to know what you need to know to advance. As simple as building blocks of that, right? There's anything in life you need to know the knowledge of, which is no more than an overview, a summary at times. Reason being is because a lot of times, the more, when you're trying to gain wisdom, introspectively, that's the only place to look. Like those are only truths that you ever really know to be what they are. You know? Like, all right, somebody tells you something and immediately you go to ego, right? That's what feels natural when it's something that you're not trying to be decisive over. When you're trying to go with the crowd of how you feel like they're telling you to feel. Because people are, they're giving you something to respond off of, to act off of. But when you break things down logically and then have a feeling of self to know what self is, that is another thing that's different between, that's a difference, I couldn't get that right. That's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. It's a knowing. Wise people always tell you something and it hits the gut before you experience it because they experienced it. They're telling you something that they're not ignorant on the activation of. Because with knowledge, you have to have an activation. If you don't have an activation, which is a movement, as we were talking before, if I'm looking for something that I desire, and this is the only thing in tune, right? My mind is the only thing going. It's all just going to be a thought. That's a good thought. And when somebody else discovers it, and you're gonna be like, I thought it, because that's how that works. You're not gonna get up, move on it because you're not in sync with your body and your mind and your soul, because that's the guidance thereof. The soul is the guidance, the mind is the thought to make you move in your natural reality, and the intertwinement of that and body basically tells you, okay, I have to move on that. I can't let that thought pass without moving on it. So once all of those are synced, it's easy for it to be your first mind, for you to act on your first mind. But if they're not in sync, that action on the first mind would be a mistake, and you would lack the confidence to trust in your mind again, and your soul, and your touch. This is how we have these barriers in life when we experience them early on in life. Is, oh, I got my hand burnt on that one and I thought it was the right thing. Only that was the teacher to say, keep going, keep digging. You didn't dig deep enough. Because if you dug deep enough, you would know that those keys that we turn first on the eye controls the eye. So if that was your first lesson with cooking, or your first lesson with your stove or heat being a kid, and you see the eye red, but you know every time mom touches those little knobs to get this thing going. So it identifies things that we feel, they identify with us. We have to quit letting things determine what we identify with. Like, we let our situations dictate what we identify with, who we are as people. When, first off, you didn't react well at that time for that thing because you didn't have knowledge of such. Second, you have knowledge of such and you have an action. If you do not act, that is your fault. That is our fault. Because I experienced that, had a bad reaction, I'm gonna move on it this time. So those are the, and we have to understand that we have to escape the loops of our lives. Because the second we break the cycle, we escape the loop and we can make it a direction. We can go in a line. We can go in that line. If that's where you want to go, if that's who you want to be, cool. But quit thinking you know something if you don't know the inside of that.
Know thyself.
Not just in sentence form. See, the thing is, it sounds spacey. Know thyself? Think about it in a realistic aspect of people. Just people being people. Me and you just grown folk. Know thyself. You're looking at me like, okay, nigga. I know I like this. I like Cheerios when I wake up. I like coffee. I like bop, 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 bip, bop, bop. But see, if you don't go past the layers of your onion, you ain't never gonna find out which type of onion you are. You ain't gonna know if you're a green onion, yellow onion, white onion, got purple onion, whatever the fuck. You never go that far if you don't peel back the layers. So you can look at the outside of any freaking onion and look like I'm that onion. And you ain't that onion. That's why you keep bumping the wall. That's why you keep hitting the wall. I'm that onion. I'm not that onion. Because I'm still on the shell. All the shells are red. Reddish golden. So how you gonna tell? Inside is wisdom. Outside is knowledge. And it always will be such. Knowledge has to make you want it to gain it. Wisdom says, hey, open me. What do I dislike? What are my monsters? Where are my dark places? And why are they dark? Matter of fact, am I comfortable with dark? Because I can't be comfortable with light if I'm not comfortable with dark, so let's go inside. Now, on ETD. Hey man, I love y'all. Like, subscribe, comment, holla at me. Negative, positive, whatever you think. Please. Peace.